I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gargano Show!
Oh! Good morning, everybody! Happy NFC Championship Friday! Oh, it's a football Friday. It's the NFC Championship Friday. This is the Anthony Gargano Show. And we're brought to you by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. TrueMark.com/PHLY to find out the credit union difference. All right, man, it's about to be on. Oh, I'm nervous as all get out. I still have not. I feel the same way I felt, I think, Sunday night as I do today, which is think they're going to win, think it's a sweat. Like, I'm still not into the blowout mode. I'm definitely scared. I'm definitely going to be hugging my gagoots on Sunday, before the game. I feel good. Like, I feel like they're going to win. I have envisioned the Bourbon Street filled with Eagles fans. I've closed my eyes, and in my mind's eye, I see Bourbon Street bathed in green. All right? So that I believe. So I believe they're going to win. And then it comes down to what happens, right? Like, how does it happen? I think A.J. Brown has a big game. I don't know what else. I think defense, because the defense always plays well. I think the defense, I think Jaden Daniels comes down to earth a little bit. He's a great player, right? And we're going to have to deal with him. He's going to be a pain in the ass for the next decade. But I think the Eagles defense, I think they play well. I think Fangio devises a scheme. And I think it's a lower scoring. I know people are predicting lots of scoring and up and down. I don't see it. I see more of a lower scoring game, and I think the Eagles defense plays well. And I think it's an eke out. I think we eke out the victory, and we're all to the Super Bowl. We got lots of fun stuff for you today. We're going to hear from some of our favorite schools, right? I know St. Dorothy's is preparing in Drexel Hill. They are preparing a big Eagles chant. I know Folsom Middle School in Hamilton preparing the Eagle chant.
Coach Joe.
That's right. Teacher Joe was one of the best.
Teacher Joe.
Teacher Joe's the best. Principal Tomasetti and Teacher Joe have us today with the kiddies. I love that. We got our man Fran Duffy, Franny Films, coming to you live from the East-West Shrine Bowl in Dallas to go over the film. Pat McClune from the editor's desk. Big-time Eagles man. We got Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. We got our Rothman doctors to talk about Jalen's knee. And we got our buddy Kevin Negandhi to take us home. So we're looking forward to a big day. Good morning, VG.
Let's go. Let's go. Man, I am so charged up for this one. I was listening to Rage Against the Machine on the way over here. I'm ready to drive through a wall. Joe Witt Jr. talking trash, actually threatening our quarterback, kind of. What's he talking about?
We're going to hit him?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Of course you are. Who are you, dude? Who are you?
By the way, all right?
What the hell?
Between the little fan base that they have.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest. The Eagles put out a video today of Eagle chants all over the world.
Ghana,
Tokyo, Japan,
yes.
Right? England.
Yes.
All over the world. We got Eagle fans in Australia and New Zealand. I talked to them.
Yeah.
Right? India. Washington. Are you kidding me? All of a sudden, Commanders fans with their lame song, the lame name. First of all, Commanders is lame. Right?
What is the song? Hail to the Commanders at this point?
Yeah, come on. So weak. And they are, it's a lame franchise. Let's be real. It's been a lame franchise. It used to be glory. Look, in the 80s, Joe Gibbs.
They were legit.
Redskins they were a monster franchise.
Hogs. Joe Jacoby.
You know, they were at the White House. Remember the story about that? Because they were like meatheads and they got invited to the White House and they were all drunk doing shots and eating it was incredible. You know, that's how they did it.
Yeah.
They were a great franchise.
Yeah.
And then they fell off the table forever.
Couldn't get anything.
They couldn't
right.
even last as long as the Cowboys did. The Cowboys at least had the 90s, right? They were done after the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
That is a franchise that had a horrible owner, right? They're a franchise. He was terrible. That they were people on cheerleaders.
Bad stadium.
Right, horrible stadium. Everything about that everything about that franchise was weak.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden they have a little success.
They're chesty. The whole crew. But this guy, Joe, what is the point even saying that?
Dude, I'll tell you, you know what's funny? And maybe it's because of the Andy Reid thing.
Yeah.
But because Andy Reid would go nuts. Like, are you crazy? You would not, it's like, you never say that.
Right.
Never say that.
He's a mid-level wide receiver at Auburn, first-time D coordinator. You could come in here and be prepared. We're going to hit him if he's a runner. Of course you are.
Right.
That's the game. Of course you are.
You don't say that. You don't say. You know what? That's a threat.
It is a threat.
That's a threat.
It is.
Counselor, he threatened my quarterback.
Exactly.
Bulletin board. Put it on the bulletin board.
I mean, that's a direct threat.
Yeah.
To the sovereignty of the Eagles.
Yeah.
It's a clear and present danger.
I totally agree.
All right.
I totally agree. Does he not realize his quarterback runs as well? Like, what's he got Burrow back there?
And by the way, it's not like, and listen, I love that kid. The kid's great, right? Jay Dale's fantastic. But he's almost as thin as Devontae.
He is.
All right?
He's one good shot away.
He's like
from
80 pounds.
I mean, young guy, like, you shouldn't be talking like that. Like, we're going to hit Jalen? All right. Like, you want to play like that?
And Nick's response was great. He's like, well, yeah, if he's a running back, we expect him. He'll get hit. We plan for that. That's like, duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
Nick has handled this thing really well.
Yes.
He really has. So where's your mind? Like, what are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Dude, I'm right where I was. I think this is I'm back to double digits with this one.
Are you?
Yeah. I don't think they're in the same league right now as a total team. Daniel's going to have his deal, but I think Fangio contains him. And I think the offense, you can't stop Saquon. No one has stopped him. This guy's talking trash about hitting Jalen. He's got the 30th rush defense. He better worry about that other than hitting our quarterback. He can't stop the run.
Wait. Joe.
Jesus, what is he talking about?
That's the greatest.
Can I just say something?
It's not like he's the top defense in the
I'm
league.
sorry, Joe. Where's your defense ranked?
Yeah.
Where's your rushing defense ranked?
30th.
Can I just say something?
What's that, Andrew?
Last game, Jaden Daniels needed to score 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns in order to beat Kenny Pickett, who he lost to by 3 points. Kenny Pickett lost to Jaden Daniels by 3 points. They needed 5 touchdowns in order to beat him.
He's right.
You think they're going to come in
right.
to the link and they're gonna beat Jalen and the team, the full team? Come on now.
Come on.
All right. I love you, man. You're my boy. You know these games don't matter, like one for the other and all. I like your rally cry.
Yeah.
All right. Frazier.
Yo, and
hey, that's right, you know?
You're my man, cuz I love you, man.
My man Nick, Z Berm, asking him about not being nominated for Coach of the Year. I don't care about that stuff. I just want to win. And we're in a position to be able to, if we win, go to the Super Bowl. And that's pretty dope. That's Nick's response.
Dude,
that's pretty dope.
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
I love it.
That should be on T-shirts. That's pretty dope.
Dude, you're right.
Yeah, that should be the slogan.
T-shirts.
That's pretty dope.
I love it. That should be on T-shirts. He's handled everything the right way.
Yep.
Man, we're just hours away. Phrase, hours away, dude.
Oh, man, I cannot wait.
Right? He's all eagled up.
I'm
Joey
pumped up.
Marone all eagled up.
Yeah, and the streets this morning,
All
everyone's
eagled
wearing
up.
Eagle gear all through the city.
You know who's eagled up? St. Dorothy's in Drexel Hill.
I can't wait for this.
Up.
I love these kids when they come on.
So one of my favorite things that I used to do was I would love to hear from the kids, and they would call the show, and so we're reprising that today.
Love it.
So we're going to go
it.
to some of the schools. All right, let me know when we have them, Andrew. All right.
I'm not even worried about the Jergens because Stoutland, I just trust Stoutland. We're cool. I mean, it's an issue, but it's not a big concern for me. In Stoutland, I trust.
So you're blindly optimistic.
I am all in. I think this is what we wanted in the first round. This should be easy.
Well, to your point, that's the truth. We did want this in the first round.
Yeah, this is like a gift.
We did want it. We talked about it like, oh my God, you get to Washington first round. All right.
Yeah, at home.
You wanted that more than you wanted to face
the Rams
or
the Packers.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because you remember, you're right, Fraser. Like we talked about the Green, oh my God, Green Bay, Jordan Love, they're playing better, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, this should be
like think about it.
This should be.
We could be on our way to Detroit right now.
Right.
All right, like that would have been scary.
Yeah. So have some gratitude. Like I'm coming from gratitude today.
Because it's funny. People are saying, "Wow, be careful what you wish for. You got to hope." Well, yeah, I wish for Washington over Detroit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Washington won, and I know Detroit's defense was leaking oil, but I'd much rather have play the Washington than the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, Goff's not going to throw the ball up 5 times or 4 times, however many times. That's not going to happen. They need an atrocious game from Goff to beat that team.
I know. That's why I look at Sunday, dude.
My Alada's quotes, I don't give a bleep about the outside noise. Like, these guys they're focused. They got Nick's edge. Right now.
They have been focused all season. Ever since that week 5.
Since the bye, they've been a different team.
They have been, and they believe. And they're not look, after Green Bay and the Rams, what did they do?
Handled business.
But they didn't celebrate.
Oh, no. Total professional.
Like, there was no celebration. None whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like we have our people?
Like they expected to win.
Almost ready.
All right. Joey, do me a favor. Turn this heat down. Because they
got heated up. You're like all fired up. You cut yourself shaving this morning. You're like,
I can't wait. I'm from the fall. No, the heat is messing with my allergies.
All right.
So I hate it dries you out. I can't stand all the freaking heat. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, 75 is too hot.
It depends on how cold it is outside. There's drafty windows.
Actually, when
we're above freezing today, hopefully. Do
you wish Sunday was colder?
No. I'm
Forget
good with
tailgates for the game.
No, I'm good with 40.
Yeah.
42.
Yeah, 42 is good. That's good.
It's
Philadelphia, January.
good brisk weather for football.
No, I want it colder.
You want it colder?
Yeah. I want
we had a snow game. We had the snow globe game last week. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And now we come in. I want a fresh track, though.
80-pound shakes in the cold.
AJ want a fresh track. They ain't stopping AJ. Hey, to me, it's an AJ game.
K-Red says the vents might be blowing some mold into the studio. Might be.
Yeah.
Might is an understatement.
Yeah, that's 100%
They
K-Red.
are.
You can see it. Like, you can see it in
There's
the air.
spores everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a spore.
All right.
They're like the drones. Here's the deal. Let us go out. Everybody's eagled up. The streets of Philadelphia, bathed in green. We're all eagled up. Let us go to Principal Thomasetti right there in Drexel Hill, St. Dorothy's.
Hi, everybody. We're ready.
New Jersey.
Yeah, look at who it is. Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of the favorites of mine.
I love that, Principal Tomasetti, who happens to be my sister-in-law.
Randall's bringing us good luck.
So let us, who do we have here? Do we have the entire, set the stage for us.
Okay, the stage is, we have preschool through 8th grade here.
Okay. The whole
We're
group.
going to show you that real quick.
Yeah,
We have our teachers, we have our pastor, we have our parish dog, we have our Mr. Mayo,
love the dog.
who just had a knee replacement, who literally 1 week ago. There's he here. There he is. Give him a shout out there. Yep, we drove him here.
You're like Jalen Hurts.
Yes. Yeah, you've got to see a green here. Wait till you see them.
I
They
love it.
are itching to go with signs, lots of green. It's looking good.
All right. St. Dorothy's. Bring us
There we
home.
go.
Oh, they got little hats.
Go full screen, Andrew. Oh, man, look how that. Oh, look at that. Oh, my God. That's so great. Oh, my God. Oh, that's beautiful.
It sounds like the stadium in here.
Oh, my God. I love it. Oh.
Sounds like the link.
Oh, you guys are awesome. I love all the kids dressed up. That's fantastic. Do me a favor, character.
Yeah.
Lead them into another cheer, and we can go full screen and see him again, because I got to get one more look at it. It gives me chills.
All right, we're going to do it one more time?
Yeah, one more time.
Or just the EA, the whole thing?
Do it one more time. Go ahead.
All right,
Play
they want it one more time. Ready?
Go.
Look how the wording started. Was fantastic.
How's the audio?
Hey, we love you too.
Oh, it was fantastic. Great job,
Eagles.
guys. Go
Sunday can't come
Birds!
soon enough. We're saying good luck, guys. Go Birds.
Go Birds! Oh, well, I love
Dude,
it.
that would-
How great is that?
That would make my day if I was in school. I remember that forever. Being able to dress up and just pile into the auditorium
Is
for 40
that
minutes.
not fantastic?
And they got the dude on the Casio keyboard, like starting them off.
Oh, that's the greatest. They're all the kids are dressed up. And I freaking love it.
I used to love those pep rallies.
Oh,
and stuff in school.
Yeah, I
It was
actually
so
think
fun.
I think they were like so loud, like the mic was cutting them down.
Well, it was
cutting
the
it out.
phone. You said it was the phone?
It was the phone mic, yeah. So unfortunately, just because of the the phone mic, it was cutting them out. a
Yeah,
little
we,
bit.
didn't have we don't have a mic set up at St.
Yeah.
Dorothy's. But yeah, that was beautiful, man.
Someone in
Seeing those kids.
it was someone in the chat. Jane Hartman says that her granddaughter's there. My
Oh,
granddaughter's
really?
school. Hi, Haley.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, we love it. We love it. All right, let us go down to Dallas and the East-West Shrine Bowl, where our man
this is-
has been locked up in a room. All right? It's the Locker Room Report,
nuts.
brought to us by Valley Forge Tourism and Montgo. Make it Montgo, Montgomery County.
They do not crave food nor drink for nourishment,
for they exist solely on the glow of the all-22 monitors. They are the Leatherheads, and he is Franny Films.
Yes, Franny Films! What do you say, buddy? Happy Football Friday.
Happy Football Friday, guys. It's obviously a big one here in Philly, but it's a little bit of a different mood down here in Dallas. I don't know. They're not talking about playoffs. They haven't talked about it in like a couple decades down here.
You know what the greatest is? You're in Dallas. What does that city feel like? And it's in Eagles, Washington. Philadelphia, Washington, NFC title game. They can't watch. I know if I were in Dallas, I'd be like, I'm not watching football.
Right.
I got a buddy. I have a buddy who lives down here, and he said it's just red. Like they're miserable, especially with everything going on with the coaching search down here in Dallas too. It's and not happy times if you're a Cowboys fan.
It's the greatest. Brian Schottenheimer, no playoffs. And in New York, all they're talking about are the Mets and Yankees. They won't even go near football, New York. Oh, that's priceless. Franny Films, you're down for the East-West Shrine Bowl. Your draft coverage is going to be incredible. It's already begun. This draft coverage like no other in the country.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Look, I've been working on these players going back to last spring, last summer, and I've been studying through the fall. Obviously, doing all the Eagles coverage and looking at Eagles opponents, but always had at least one eye over the course of the week on college players, and so I'm excited now. This is my first time to be able to get my eyes in person on some of these guys. Practice starts tomorrow. I'll start interviews with a lot of players after lunch today, so I'm excited to start talking with these players and start talking with people around the industry, getting a sense of what are the whispers in the wind. In terms of how this draft is going to play out, but it's going to be fun. I love these trips every single year, and I'm excited to get rolling. Our coverage here at all PHLY and the entire ALLCITY network is going to be great. So I'm very, very fired up to get this thing rolling.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be awesome. Awesome. All right.
Such a football head.
I love him. All right, dude. Sunday. All right, let's play it out. All right, let me hear it. Let me see how you feel. High scoring, low scoring, key matchups. Break this down. I've played it out 1,000 times in my head. Let me hear you do it.
It's funny. I was thinking about this playoff run just in general, and I feel like I was, if we're like going on the gummy scale, like that, the Green Bay game was like a 2 gummy, 2.5 gummy. Like I was a little bit anxious in terms of that team, and then you get to the Rams game. It's like, I feel a little bit more confident there than I did last week. And this week, I feel more confident than last week that the Eagles are going to win. I just feel like this team is more talented than Washington. I think at the end of the day, look, a lot of the same things that we've talked about all postseason with this matchup. The Eagles' offense is just more talented than this Washington defense. We know that they can do things to create havoc, to create pressure on Jalen Hurts, to create turnovers. That's how they won last week against Detroit. But I think when you look at the way that this Eagles offense has been running the football, they should be able to run the ball up and down the field against this Washington defense. Washington has had some success at stopping Saquon Barkley the majority of these two games, these two matchups previously. But to me, it was more, especially in that second game, more about what the Eagles didn't do up front as opposed to what Washington had success doing. And I think that when you look at some of the things that Washington had success with early on in the first game, there was a lot of D-line slants, and the Eagles kind of figured that out. They went to the sideline and said, all right, let's make our adjustments. And then Saquon went off in the fourth quarter. They come out in the first half, the first quarter of that second game in week 16, and Saquon went for like 100 yards in the first quarter. He had that long touchdown after Jalen Hurts' injury. And then the execution up front just went down the tubes. The tight ends did not have a good day blocking at the point of attack. Mekhi Becton and some of the other offensive linemen did not have their best day going up against that Washington front. I think this team is going to be chomping at the bit for this third rematch. I think they're going to be excited to take the field against a team that has been the only one to beat them since like September. So I think that they're very excited for that opportunity. And then I think just overall, again, this team is just more talented. And I look at the defense. Look, Jaden Daniels, he's awesome, right? I mean, when he's out there, he's one of the most electric players on the field, regardless of what color jersey he's wearing. But I think at the end of the day, I've just got more confidence in this defense to be able to limit that offense from being able to go to 30. Right? I don't think we're going to be able to put as many points on the board as what they've done during this postseason run.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It's funny. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I don't think Jaden Daniels goes nuts. I think the Eagles defense is able to kind of cage him in a little bit. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think it's going to be a grinded out game. Offensively for the Eagles, A.J. Brown, like we know about Saquon, but I think this has to be an A.J. game.
Yeah, and look, the postseason has not been kind to A.J. Brown in terms of the box score. And we know that the knee has been bothering him. We'll see, if that continues to be the case on Sunday. I know it's going to be a cold day, but it should be a clear day. The elements shouldn't be a huge factor in this one for the passing game. I think when you look at, Jalen Hurts and the health of his knee, what does that mean for the game plan from an offensive standpoint? I think obviously, look, they're gonna get a healthy dose of the run game in Saquon Barkley, but the Eagles do have to have another answer. That was one of the things I put in my notes this week over on allphly.com previewing this game. Is that one of the things that the Eagles do have to have an answer for? Washington's going to load the box, and they've been a pretty good run defense when they've loaded the box, meaning that they've got an extra defender than you have blockers. That's going to be the game plan for Dan Quinn early and often. He's going to say, okay, Jalen Hurts, you're coming off this knee injury. What exactly are you going to be able to do to beat us on the back end? It can't just be Saquon Barkley. And so that's going to have to be the answer for Kellen Moore, for Nick Sirianni, for this offensive staff. Is that the Jalen Hurts element of run game? Is that going to be quick passing game? What is it that they're going to say, okay, if you're going to try and load up the box, we have to make you pay on the perimeter. We have got to be able to say, like, all right, we're going to get those numbers back in our advantage, try and scare them out of those looks. And so to me, you go back to that Pittsburgh game, the game where Jalen goes off in the first half and he comes to the post-game press conference and he says, oh, is that what you guys wanted to see?
Right, right.
That's what we want. That's what we wanted to see. So I think that in that game, in the first half, the ball was out super fast. It was a lot of empty sets. It was a lot of just quick rhythm throws. And for me, in this one, if they're going to load the box, they're going to bring Luvu and Campbell and Jeremy Chin and all these guys up near the line of scrimmage, get the ball out fast out to the perimeter, try and get them to space out a little bit. And then that's when you're able to gash them in the run game as well. And then that's where that balance really takes hold.
I'm with you. Hey, real quick, Joe Banner brought something up yesterday, which was interesting. He saw something where against the Eagles are great at passing on 3rd and long, like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. They're very good against nickel, but they struggle against base defense 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. Have you seen that, and why?
That's interesting. I think that I'd have to go and look at the numbers and try and watch those plays down. I think that when you look at, in this game, I don't know that it necessarily even matters because Washington plays less base defense than basically anybody. They led the league in nickel personnel. So I don't think we're going to see many 3 linebacker sets from Washington in this one. And also the other big thing too, we saw how conservative the Eagles were in those 3rd and long situations last week, and then even the week before, and kind of down the stretch. When they get into 3rd and long, they haven't been bashful about just turning around and handing the ball to Saquon Barkley. We could talk about whether or not that's a fruitful outcome. I know that he converted on a big play down the field on a running play. I think it was in the Jacksonville game midseason. But outside of that, to me, I'd want to go back and look at that small sample of plays.
But you were saying
right.
So I have a doc or.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, ask him the question.
Here we go, Franny. They're not going to be the first team to put a bunch of people in the box. It never works. So, what do you got this on the gummy scale?
I think this is like maybe you're cutting one of those gummies in half, and it's like a 1.5 gummy kind of situation. If you want to do the second one for funsies,
for the walk down Broad Street, we'll use the second one for the walk down Broad Street.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
to have one for the first half and save the second or third for post game.
You say, can you, in your wisdom, see this as a double-digit Eagles win?
Yes, I definitely can envision that. I do think that, look, there's a wide range of outcomes here with this one. Jaden Daniels is a factor. If a quarterback goes nuts, we've said that every postseason week so far that, when you go up against a top shelf quarterback, which, look, Jaden Daniels, that's the way he's playing right now. He is playing like one of the best quarterbacks in football. And if he goes on a heater, he's got that ability to take over a game. That's how the Commanders won back in Week 16. He put that team on his back with big plays down the field, and as a scrambler, the Eagles defense can't let that happen. That said, yes, I can absolutely foresee a situation where this Eagles team just steamrolls this Washington team as well. So I can see it going both ways, but I do trend towards the Eagles win.
Yeah.
Wow, steamroll. That's
I
big.
love that. Steve.
Franny, great stuff, man. As always, brother. Be safe down there, buddy. We love you.
Appreciate it, guys. Love you guys too. We'll talk next week.
Franny Films.
Yo,
all right,
again,
East West Shrine
we
Bowl.
got that Die Hard sale going on. His work alone
Oh my God, it's
is a
fantastic.
bargain.
Hey, real quick, because we got the
There
editor's
it
desk.
is right there.
Look at that.
$48 for a whole year. $4. It's $1 a week. Less than $1 a week.
I mean, the content's unbelievable. And you get all the Sixers coverage and Flyers coverage, right? And Phillies, like all the stuff that you want right there as a diehard. All right. We got Pat coming up in just a second from the editor's desk. But let's talk about some of our friends, Golden Nugget Jewelers. That's right, the heart of the Center City 8th and Chestnut Jewelers Row. Valentine's Day around the corner. All right, Super Bowl. You want to go to New Orleans, right? So you want a big door, do a big party.
Yeah.
You want to be on Broad Street Sunday night. So you're going to go wild, right? So take care of your girl.
Yeah.
All right, make sure you go to Golden Nugget Jewelers, especially when you act a fool. Go to Golden Nugget Jewelers and go see my man, Yaron. He's going to take great care of you. He's got everything, diamond earrings, diamond pendants. I mean, you name it, gifts that will make her melt. All right, the engagement ring, par excellence. I mean, it's going to be incredible. He'll take great care. You got largest selection of certified diamonds. He's got the settings, the designers like the Corey and Viraggio. Check it out, Golden Nugget Jewelers. Go to goldennuggetjewelers.com. Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged.
And our friends over at Ace Hardware are here to help you out with home repairs with Ace Hardware Home Services. Got a leaky pipe? Ace Hardware Home Services, they're around the block with everything you need to fix it, including the person to do the fixing. Got a heating issue? They got a person for that. Got a faucet? You said you fixed last fall and you haven't? Well, they got a person for that too, because Ace is not just the helpful hardware folks anymore. They're also the helpful home service and repair folks, taking the stress and worry right off of you, man. Just let them do all the work, from plumbing to heating and cooling. Ace has got trusted pros to keep your house humming all year long. Ace Hardware Home Services. They're bringing the helpful home, the helpful you love from the store, now to your front door. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at www.acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next home repair project.
All righty. I was just texting Kevin because our buddy Kevin Negandhi he woke up sick today.
Oh.
He's like, oh, man, I'm not going to have any energy. I'm like, dude, just, we'll keep it short and we'll visit with you, take your temperature. All right, literally and figuratively. This portion of the program brought to us by the great people at the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Download it, all right? We're going to find out what the brain likes. We'll send a text out to the brain. Let's go, though. Extra from the editor's desk.
Extra, read all about it.
This just in, ladies and gentlemen, and all the ships at sea. It's time for headlines from the editor's desk with Pat McClune.
And there he is. Wait, where was
Boys,
he?
how are you?
There he is. Good
No,
morning.
it's go time.
It's
go
He's
time.
serious.
He's zippered up. He's zippered up.
He's
I
got
zippered
a
up.
green sweater.
Yeah.
That's right. Green and black. Midnight green and black, ready to go.
Got a midnight green candle behind him, it looks like, ready to burn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, real quick before you go into it.
Behind you, ready to go. Absolutely.
All right, before you get into it, real quick, how you feeling? Like, how you feel with the game?
I remember distinctly before the last game, I felt extremely confident they were going to beat Washington. And for that one, VG wasn't quite so sure. I feel good. I think they're going to win. But it's just, the last two times they've played in an NFC championship game, they've rolled people. Now, VG and Franny talked about that a little. I don't see that. I think that I think it's bad karma to expect to say, hey, they're going to roll people. So
I do
I
too.
expect it's going to be a battle.
refuse to do that.
Hey, nobody said roll. We're steamrolling. Steamrolling, baby. Come on, Pat. I don't know what they do other than quarterback. I don't know what they do well. I mean, they're just running hot. They got a hot goalie right now, and he's about to get cooled off.
And I agree with that, and we'll break that down when we get to it. I did want to start that if anybody thinks that the turnover battle is overrated in that, my old friend Bob Vitrone Boop at the Daily News who did the stats all those years, points out that there are 4 teams left in this playoff. And among them, they've played 420 minutes of football. And there has been 0 turnovers.
Wow.
Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, Commanders. No one has turned the ball over yet.
Wow, that's wild. That's amazing. Holy moly.
That is.
Good pull by Boop. Yep.
Yeah, that's a great pull by the Boop.
Good North Catholic guy, the Boop. Yeah.
That's right.
All
Brown
right.
Falcon.
Without further ado, let's get it started. Yeah, it's dealer's choice. So you started.
Oh, the love dealer's choice.
Oh, how about it? Okay. Well, let's go because it's going to be all football. While we have it, we got to do it. It's all football. So I'm going to go to the only non-Eagles thing that I have, and that is the other game. And our headline on the other game is Choose Your Poison.
Wow. That's a great headline.
We've talked about this before. Nothing would be better than at 6:30 on Sunday, having been wrung into a dish rag, sweaty mess, realize that the Eagles have come through on the other side, and just sit down to watch a titanic battle between the Bills and the Chiefs for the right to play the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Nothing could be better. So let's hope we're in that position there. And, there's 2 ways to look at it. I think if you get the Chiefs, you're getting probably the better of the 2 teams right now, but you're getting a team that hasn't made that step, whatever. If you do get Kansas City, regardless of what you think, that's old hat to them. They're not going to be phased in any way in the Super Bowl. But there might be part of you that says you want to pay them back, that you would like better to knock off Andy and them. I have good friends that can't stand Andy. I don't get that. I've never been able to get that.
No, I mean,
and the only thing, they remind me of Alabama football, and that I didn't like Alabama football for a lot of years, Anthony, for one reason. I had nothing against Saban or the team.
They were good.
I was just tired of them winning.
Yeah.
Just tired of them winning. Wanted to see somebody else. And until recently, it was the same with the Chiefs. I didn't have anything against them, but Mahomes is turning into a little bit of a whiny face for me.
A whiny face.
A little bit of a whiny face. You can't argue how good he is. We all know how good he is. And I'm really surprised that, most people stay out of the fray when your casual fan starts getting all crazy about how the Chiefs get all the calls or whatever. But, boy, that got pretty mainstream during the Texans game with that slide by Mahomes or whatever. There were some big people checking in there to say that, the Chiefs are really, really getting a kind flag.
I mean,
Aikman on the broadcast.
Aikman was killing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. I think the Eagles match up better with Buffalo. I think they can run on Buffalo. I do fear Spags.
I knew the next word out of your mouth was Spags, and I think you're right. I'm not even sure. I know that McDermott's a defensive guy. He's a LaSalle High guy. But you do worry about a guy like Spags being able to dial up something that flusters the Eagles. And, you don't think that the Buffalo is going to be able to do that.
Yeah, and the Eagles, the offense has changed from 2022. We talked about the illegal man downfield, right, and how that kind of changed from 2022. So people go, wow, they moved the ball well in the Super Bowl in 2022. It's different than it was. And I know you got Barkley, which is great, but I think Buffalo, I think Kansas City's better against the run. I think with Buffalo, the Eagles can move the ball. So I'd rather face the Bills.
Right.
Give me KC. I want revenge. They started this whole stupid three-peat against the Birds. End it. Squash it. Steamroll that three-peat. Give me the Chiefs. I want an Andy. Yeah. Respect the Spags, but nah. I want Mahomes. I want an Andy.
All right. What's number 2, my brother?
Well, let's go let's go Eagles, Jaden Daniels. And everything's Eagles from here on in. And the headline on that is, let someone else be the first. Because there has never been a rookie quarterback at the helm of a Super Bowl team. And let's be sure as hell that this guy is not the first.
Amen.
No shot against the guy. He's really good. And he brings something that we didn't really have to worry about in the first 2 games. You worry about the Eagles and Fangio doing everything right and it giving him nothing to do, and there's heat on him and he squirts loose. That's the thing about Daniels that really makes you worry.
What scares me now with
Daniels
him,
is not squirting against the birds.
But
not against this line.
What scares me about him is that, he's on such a heater, man. He's playing like he's not missing anything. That's what's scary about the kid. But again,
and, it's interesting who's been there. There have only been 5 that have made it to a championship game. The most recently, and he really didn't play, was Purdy. That's one that sticks in my craw to bring out my old Rich Ashburn in me. I don't care if Joe Montana quarterbacked the 49ers in that game. The Eagles were going to kick their ass regardless. That constant whining from Debo and every guy on that team about that he got hurt. Yeah, he got hurt, but it's not like he got hurt when they were up 14 and the Eagles came back. They were taking an ass kick with Purdy. They were taking an ass kicking with the second string quarterback, and they were taking an ass kicking with a third string quarterback. So I don't even count Purdy's
three ass kickers from Pat. Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa. He's fired up
And
today.
before that,
Fired up. Yes.
Before that, oh God, I hate that. That really turned me on the 49ers. My son Brendan always loved the 49ers, so I gave them the benefit of the doubt. They're out. They're out for good after that. And before Purdy, it was Mark Sanchez of all people.
Yes.
I guess with Rex, he got to the finals. He didn't get there. So nobody's ever done it. And, you got to give the Commanders credit for being where they are. I know they won't be happy to just stay where they are, but my feeling is they should be. Chalk up a really good season. Let's see how you do it next year. But it's really amazing. They were 4-13 last year.
I know.
4-13, an 8-game turnaround.
Yeah.
And it's one guy really, 4-13 to 12-5. New coach. Give Quinn and Kingsbury credit, but this guy's really, really something, and he's going to be a thorn in the side for many years. But no, not this week. But it's a major factor.
I'm with you. All right, number
now
3.
We're going to move on to the Eagles history, and it's Eagles in the NFL title, and our headline here is familiar terrain. And it's to the Eagles' credit now, boys. We got a good and a bad. On the right, you got Nick Foles when they crushed the Vikings on the way to the Super Bowl. That big game at home with Patrick Robinson, they just killed the Vikings. So they did that there. But then, the Eagles, you got to give the Eagles credit. They have been to the NFC Championship 8 times since 2000. No other NFC team's been there as much. And I'm going to give credit to the Commanders because it allows me to take what I would like to think is a semi-weekly shot at the Cowboys. By the virtue of the Commanders getting there now, no team in the NFC has waited as long to get to the NFC Championship than them stinking Cowboys. And somebody made the point that both Jalen and Jaden Daniels were not born the last time those guys were, But so the Eagles have been there 8 times. That's the best. That's very, commendable. They've hosted it 6 of the 8 times. So that also, that's more. The next ones, the 49ers and Seahawks have both hosted it 3 times. The Eagles 6. That's pretty amazing. But, there were a couple, the last two, let's keep a trend going, big wins. Big wins over the 49ers, and as we talked about, and the Vikings, as we talked about. But then we had those, 3 years of, the first one, of course, goes back to 81 with the win over the Cowboys. But then when Andy got it rolling, it was 3 tough years. And, the other headline up there was when they lost that game to the Falcons. We've talked about that quite a bit. We all had our bags packed. It was a cold day. The next day we were off. There was no 2-week gap. We were all off to San Diego the next day. But one that's kind of a little overlooked here is it wasn't the Eagles' best team. He had Thrash and Pinkston as his receivers.
Carolina.
You're home against Carolina. Jake Delhomme's the quarterback.
Deshaun Foster. And you know what's nuts? It was 14-3.
Yes.
What? Think
there
about
was no
that.
Sam Mills. There was no Luke Kuechly. There was no stud. Their best player on defense was probably Julius Peppers. It was until the day he dies, it's going to be the greatest day in Ricky Manning's career. The Eagles gave that to him.
Oh, they punked the receivers. Ricky Manning Jr. punking the Eagles receivers. But I agree with you. Listen, they needed better receivers, but that's not an excuse to put up 3 points.
No.
Against that team.
Against it.
I mean, 5 played horrible, right? I mean, let's face it. They could. Andy called a big game. That was a horrible loss. One of the most terrible losses. And you had to
feeble.
Yes.
Yeah. 5 years later, they lose to the Cardinals. I think that was there.
Yeah.
I think people were a little surprised that both teams got to that. But the 3-year.
But remember, that was supposed to be an all Pennsylvania Super Bowl. It was Eagles Steelers. And let's face it. I know Kurt Warner was there. That's another game they should have won.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, look, you got that downtrodden face on you. I got to get that off you, Anthony. Got to get that off you. So let's go. Let's pep things up. Let's get positive. The next is an Eagles playback. And our headline on this, with a nod to Robert Frost, is stopping by the link on a snowy evening.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's fantastic. Look at that beast. Look at him.
Yep.
Oh, what a picture.
And the thing I want to bring up here is just a little different way to look at that game. I'm going to look at that game in 3 quick moments, Anthony and VJ. And the first one is, let's go right there with Carter, who we know won the game for them. And I made sure I looked at the replay for this to see the timing of this. But Collinsworth was really getting into the fact that how the Eagles defense looked gassed, those last 2 things. And everyone that watches the Eagles seriously knows how good Milton Williams has been.
Yes.
And gotta hope they retain him. Gotta hope they retain him.
You have to. You're spot on.
Milton Williams went at it so long and so hard, he had to tap out.
Yeah.
And he taps out after second down. He's gassed. They show him kneeling on the sidelines. A Jomo, who's turned into a nice player, comes in for him. But he's gassed. And now Jalen Carter blasts through like it's his first game of the season.
He's unbelievable.
And gets him. And then Stafford didn't have a chance on 4th down. He had to just wing that because 2 plays in a row, Carter summoned that up. Him and a Jomo did different sides, had a couple stunts, whether that's a Vic thing or a Clint Hurt thing or whatever, credit to them. But it's amazing that the guy next to you, and no knock at all at Milton Williams.
Right.
But he had to tap out for a down, and Carter still has that energy. It's amazing.
That kid, and by the way, after the safety, they're driving, It's 2nd and 2. Who punches the ball out of Kyron Williams?
Jalen.
I love that kid.
Yep.
I'm not, listen, this stage of my life with being a journalist and everything, I don't wear jerseys. If I wore a jersey, Carter, it would be a Carter. I love that kid. He's my favorite player on that team.
All
I'm
season
aware.
long, as we heard on these shows, we would talk about different things, and you would always bring us back to Carter. You were in on the ground floor there. I give you credit for that. So that's one imagery that really struck me. The other one is, and I would love to know what happened here. And it was two guys, and one guy's going to never give it up, but Saquon might, is they went right to that little shot. Great job by, I guess, NBC. When Saquon breaks that long touchdown late, they go back to the play itself, and Hurts and Barkley have a little exchange and smile.
Yes.
Now, some lip readers tell you that Saquon said, "Watch this." Now, I don't know that he did or not, but there was something about them that they had a little idea that if they were going to break one, this was the play.
Yes.
And it's fascinating to me that you run the ball 25, 30 times, whatever, and that you thought on that play, the stars were aligned, the players were aligned, the formations were aligned, and you could break it. It was a very cool moment.
It was. You know what? I'm so glad you brought that up, because that moment was like those two identified something, man. They saw it. You felt it. They saw how the Rams were aligned. That was cool. That was a great job. You're right, by NBC.
Would love to know what happened there.
Yeah.
And the last one is the lesser of the three, but still cool to me, is with all the elements and everything, that Braden Mann, the punter, the hands and the burglar of the safe. Oh, just fantastic. And
Yes.
It brings up something that fascinates me about every level of football, certainly the colleges and the NFL. I can't believe the skill in these guys, that the snap, the hold, and the kick get off. That shouldn't be so
seamless.
But it just shows how great these guys are at it. And it's also good because when you think about it not happening, you think about that bum Tony Romo dropping it in the playoff game.
Bum Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Bat with a body shot.
Yeah, he's aggressive.
That's right.
I love it.
Tony Romo, by the way, is welcome to come back and quarterback the Cowboys in his prime for the next 20 years. I've never, ever seen a guy with more accolades for lack of a resume than Tony Romo.
I know. You're
You're
so
nice
right.
guy, but, oh my God, I never understood.
He's
Tony
a bum.
Romo. Yep.
All
right. So those were like three little moments on a snowy evening.
I love that.
So our last one is, as always, let's get to it. Let's get to the breakdown. And the headline here is the penultimate step. Almost there, guys. Almost there.
Oh, sorry.
This steps got us to the penultimate step. That's some fine stepping by this guy this year.
Oh, he's the man. 26.
And, I say to you guys, if we asked you at the beginning of the season, would you take, of course you would take an NFC championship, but how would you, at the beginning of the season, you're going to be at home in the NFC championship game against the Commanders. Can't ask for more than that.
No.
You can't.
No.
And I give all the credit to the Commanders, and they're very, very capable of winning on Sunday.
Yes.
But the Eagles have it right there for them. They have it right there for them.
So,
and,
is this game a must? Like, is this game a must-win title game like of the past? Like Atlanta. You remember Atlanta on the way to the Super Bowl in Jacksonville?
Right.
Like, I think you got to win. Like, this is a must-win. You're at home. You're a 6-point favorite against Washington. Like, you got to win, man.
Yep. Yeah, every step you take, this is it. It's set up. It's set up too easily for you. It's a lot to. It's a lot to handle. It's a lot to ask, but you're eminently capable of doing it. So if they don't do it, it's a giant. It's that adds it's going to be a disappointment regardless. But that adds a big layer.
Like that, it'll be devastating. Like, I don't even think it.
This is not even putting that into my conscience right now.
Now, here's the beauty. Yeah. I close my eyes and I can see green on Bourbon Street. I just see it.
There you go.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. And so a couple things about the games is that looking at it is, they may have only have the advantage at one position. I look at it a different way. I look at the Eagles just beating the Rams, and I compare the Washington skill players to the Rams. Across the board, I like the Rams better. Mm-hmm. I like Nakua and Tennis, Cooper Ruff. I like them better than McLaurin and the guy that you and I have said has been emerging. And I like Kyron Williams better than Bijan Robinson. And I like Zach Ertz. Can't forget what Zach Ertz has done for this franchise. But at this stage of his career, I think Tyler Higbee is probably better than Ertz. So the Eagles dealt with skill positions last week.
I agree.
With the exception of quarterback, and that's a big exception, than this. And the other thing is the pass rush. That Rams pass rush was scary.
Yeah,
I give credit to that guy Verse, who mouthed off. But if you're gonna mouth off, back it up. And he backed it up. And even more so, he backed it up. And when the game was done, he was a gentleman about the whole thing.
Yeah.
He just was real good with the players, and that guy's going to be a problem. But that pass rush is scary. The Commanders isn't. That's not a scare. I guess that guy Luvo seems to be a guy that's around at the time. And I guess if he's healthy, that Jonathan Allen is a really substantial defensive tackle.
But they don't have edge monsters.
They ain't got no monsters.
There's no edge monsters there.
No monsters.
I don't know what Joe Without is talking about.
They got this Bush League Joe Witt Jr.
Joe Without Jr.
Yeah, this guy.
Oh, yeah. How about that tough guy?
Yeah.
I heard you talk in the beginning about that. Yeah, that was tough guy comments from him.
Apparently, we got
a couple things about the game itself is that I think Goddard's got to be a factor. They got to make the Commanders think that Jaden's going to come quickly to Goddard because that's going to help with the running game and them going deep. I'd like Goddard to be a factor. And then we've talked about the screen game, but even a swing pass, you almost know. I saw Saquon go in motion the other day, and I knew they were going to throw the ball to him. He goes in motion, they throw it to him. It's not really a screen. But it would have been interesting on the safety if they swung the ball to him. I would like to see if they could fluidly swing it to him or Gainwell, or maybe them set up the block of blitz and kind of leak over the middle. And I just think there's some plays there to be had on those things.
Yeah, I love that. I love that game plan. I love. What are you feeling for a score?
There's part of me that thinks it's going to be low scoring, but I can't see the Eagles not getting at least 24-27. So it might be a 27-20 or something, but it's going to be a scary 27-20.
Yeah.
Maybe the Eagles, maybe it's 20-20 and there's 6 minutes left and the Eagles do a soul-crushing thing all the way down the field. But I don't want to – for any number, one, because I don't believe it. Two, because like I said, it's bad karma. I'm certainly not going to sit here and get cocky and say they're going to whack these guys. These guys are on a heater, and they're pretty good.
I agree. I think the same way. 24-20, something like that. I can totally see it. I feel you. Swag.
And I'm not messing around, Anthony. It was a 4-son demand on Sunday. So everybody's in. Everybody's in. No all questions asked.
Boys.
I don't ask them for much. Yep.
All right.
So we'll all be here. We'll all be here, ready to go.
I love
right.
It. Well, I'll be texting you during the game like I always do, buddy.
You got it. Let's go. It's going to be
All
great.
Love it,
And then
brother.
it'll make 2 weeks of happiness around here.
That's it. Let's do it.
All right. Hey, love that St. Dorothy's. That's my neck of the woods, and I'm sure the next one you got, I see Mr. Martino's ready to go.
Yeah.
Mike Garafolo. I'm just playing around until you get to the good stuff here. See you guys.
I see you, brother. You're the
Great
best.
stuff, Pat.
We love you. The editor's desk, Pat McClone.
That's fired up today. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I love that. Like, kicking ass. We're taking the cowboy shots. All right. He said it coming up soon. We're going to go to Folsom Middle School to talk to Teacher Joe and the whole school.
The whole school?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I think he's got everybody ready.
Oh, please.
6th grade,
Please
7th
be the whole
grade,
school.
8th grade. I don't know where they got them all. But let's talk about some of our friends like TrueMark. All right.
Oh, love
Let's
our
go.
friends at TrueMark.
Kelly Body, where you at?
Kelly, TrueMark Financial Credit Union. They got a great program over there because they know it's important that kids, they grow up with some fiscal responsibility, some real world money skills, and they don't get that in school. So if you got kids, TrueMark's got the ultimate playbook for teaching your kids financial responsibility with their Greenlight account. The Greenlight account comes with the Greenlight app, and it's totally changing the game, helping kids and teens to learn how to save, earn, and spend wisely. They can set up saving goals. You can track their spending and even give them an allowance all right there in the app. And the cool part is each kid gets their own debit card so they can make purchases and learn real world money skills and feel like an adult in some way. And you stay in control of everything from your phone through the app. You get the peace of mind and they get the freedom to make some smart decisions with their money. And it's like coaching your own kid through their very own financial game. And for TrueMark Financial members, this account is totally free. So now's the perfect time to introduce your kids to the Greenlight program. Get signed up today. Visit our friends over at TrueMark.com/Greenlight for more information on this cool program.
All right. And let's talk about Parks Casino, Street Road, Ben Salem, which is ready to go. We were there the other night for Cousins Corner, the sportsbook packed, the whole thing. Text Brain, Andrew, see what his updated plays are for the weekend.
The
all
brain
right?
picks. We'll do.
We'll do that. Don't forget Bet Parks. If you can't get the Parks Casino, the Bet Parks Sportsbook online casino app has you covered for this weekend's conference championship games. Birds 6-point favorite. Still 6?
6.
Total?
47.5.
Still hasn't not moved. Still the same.
I like it.
How about Chiefs Buffalo?
Bills +2. So you tease that, tease the Birds down to a money line, and you get the Chiefs +4 or the Bills +8.
47.5 in the second game?
That moved up in a little bit. It's 48.
Yeah.
Tease that down to 42. Birds money line. I like that.
Yeah, I like the Eagles and then the over on the other game.
Tease that over a little bit.
That's a good tease. Here you're right on. $25 on the Birds to win it all. Pays 46.25. All right?
I mean, they are the favorites.
They are the favorite to win the bowl. All right, but whether your team scores or not, there's always another way to win. You have all the props. You got everything you want on the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. You got to check it out. And the casino. Yeah, the casino, as my grandmother would say. Online, blackjack, you name it. Roulette,
Baccarat. I love it all.
And all the slots that you would want, all the fun stuff. Make your downtime fun time. New customers. In fact, you get up to $1,000 casino bonus back. If you're down the first 24 hours, betparks.com has all the details. You got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Ohio, Maryland. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. This portion of the program brought to you by Rite Aid. Go to riteaid.com for the store and pharmacy nearest you. All right, on this football NFC Championship Friday, let us go live to Folsom Middle School in Hamilton, where Teacher Joe is ready to the planet.
Oh, he's got a microphone.
We got half the school. We'll get the whole school next week once we win.
I love it, Teacher Joe.
We're falling here. We're ready to go. Real quick with the Bengals game, it's going to be like the Bengals game. It's going to be real sweaty for the first quarter and a half, and then we're going to have the game plan down on them. We're going to get the lead, and then Jalen may be able to do whatever he wants after that.
He's a teacher and a prognosticator.
I love Teacher Joe. Playing out the game. Teacher Joe's an amazing Eagle fan.
You got to feel. Oh, by the way, since Jeff was selling ice cream, we got the camper from the P-lot. None of the stuff, none of the plumbing has thawed out all week. So if Jeff wants to, maybe purchase some from the P-lot, we have whatever's going on in there for all the fans. They're doing it $50 a pop.
Teacher Joe tailgates. Looking for a few shekels. I love it.
We're gonna get started. We're gonna go one side, then the other side, and we're gonna let them hear it.
All right, take it home. Do me a favor. Don't crowd the
whoa, he's got no.
The wrestler, man.
All right, go full screen on him. Go full screen on him. Let's see. Here he is. Teacher Joe at Folsom Middle School.
I'm getting a beer. Joey, can you give me a beer? This guy is the best teacher.
You are the greatest. Teacher Joe, Folsom School, Folsom Middle School. You guys are the best.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you for having us. We will see you next week.
Next week. We will talk to you next week.
We're falling. We'll be fine. Everyone relax. Be safe. God bless. Go Birds. See you in.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. He's out of breath.
He's got to get into character. Put his
Oh,
mask
yeah,
on.
the mask
I
on.
love to start off with the
Teacher Joe, Principal Tomasetti. Oh, my God. That was incredible. So I love doing that. All right. If you guys want, you let us know. Any schools across the area, we love it. We love this stuff. We love doing it. It's the greatest. What are you
I
doing?
can't think. I'm cracking a beer. I'm having such a good time. I'm cracking a beer. These kids are the best.
You're all ready.
Yeah, I'm
in
ready to
tailgate
go, man.
mode.
I am in tailgate mode.
I love it.
I woke up in tailgate mode.
I love that. That is fantastic. Now, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this epic matchup with a guy that I always follow. He is the preeminent voice of NFL news. Whatever happens, I go to this man first from the NFL Network, South Philadelphia's own Mike Garafolo. Mikey G! Happy NFC Championship Friday!
What's up? What's up, cuz? These kids got to get back to school, get back to class, go learn something.
Don't be a Grinch. All across the Delaware Valley, pep rallies. You know how we do it here.
Oh, those Fridays at WIP used to be fun, cuz back in the day with the Eagles NFC Championship games, and the morning show did their thing. You guys did your thing. And in the afternoon, it was what it was. But we had some fun on those Fridays.
Yes, you were there for many of them. It was great stuff. So storylines, what do we got? Like, what are you feeling? All the storylines, the injuries. Joe Witt Jr. talking trash. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff.
I don't know what what was he trying to communicate, right? Like I guess he's just trying to rally his own guys, unless he's trying to say to the Eagles, like, we're going to focus on Jalen and maybe have them, not dial up stuff. Because I think the Eagles understood last week that the Rams were going to be so focused on Saquon that we can get Jalen to pull one, and he had that run early in the game.
Yeah.
What did that do? That then loosened up some things for Saquon as well. So it's the game you got to play to figure out who. So I don't know if he's maybe getting the Eagles to think that they're going to be focused more, but by the same token, Jalen's hurt. It's a game of chess because Jalen's hurt, We don't know if he's going to be 100%. So we don't know how much the Eagles are dialing that back. I actually enjoy this part of it. I want to see how it plays out on Sunday, because you can spend all week talking about 11 hats on Saquon like the Rams did. I can't tell you how many times I heard that out of their building.
11 hats.
11 hats.
Good luck.
Can't let it. And then he does it twice. Like you do it once. All right. Hey, you know what? The safety took a bad angle. He did it twice.
Yeah.
Like that just can't happen when you spend the entire week talking about that. So that was
pitch around Saquon Barkley, the true home run king.
Yeah. So that was shocking to me, because because at one point I said, well, minus that big run that he had early, 12 rushes for 32 yards. They're doing, and as I'm spitting this out to my producer, boom, there he goes again. So it's, you can't take away the big runs. They are real. They have an effect. You got to stop them. Can Washington do it? We'll see. They're banged up front.
So let's talk injuries. All right. Let's talk. What are you hearing as far as Jalen's knee and how can he run? Like, obviously, whether or not he can move is a big part of it, right? Like, is it possible that he can take off on a 44-yard run to the end zone like he did last week?
I mean, I can't tell you that for sure. I just know he's not going to be 100%. And, the full participation thing is always interesting, because full participation in practice, like, he doesn't have to. Hey, if you break the pocket, just jog, right? So you can have a full participation. So you don't look at that and say, well, if he was limited like he was projected to be on Wednesday, now he's full. Oh, boy, he must be so much better. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Like, you could be not playing games with the injury report, but we're just going to have him take the full complement of reps, because he needs the reps, because he needs to be able to see everything from the pocket as well. And then, break the pocket. Now, you're hearing from the teammates, he looks great. He looks spry out there. He's got a lot of energy, blah, 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 all that stuff. All that doesn't factor in. So he's not going to be his full self. I don't know. I know that it's very tight-lipped what he's dealing with, right? It's not like the entire locker room knows, oh, the MRI came back and showed this, so they're keeping that very tight. But I don't expect him to be 100%. Can he go 40 like he did the other day? I'll lean no, but I don't know that to be the truth.
Right.
Plus adrenaline, adrenaline rehab, everything you do to kind of make it feel better to going into the game, that can help as well.
What are you hearing? Quinion's shoulder, Cam Jurgens. What are you hearing about those guys?
Yeah, the Jurgens one was interesting, because I thought I was led to believe he was going to practice, just like Nick told the media that he would. So it was a surprise that he wasn't out there, along with Goddard yesterday. So I mean, that's a big one. Today's the big day. They got to get out there and they got to do some work. I'd imagine that they will. I don't know that for sure yet. We got 2 hours till Nick talks, and then practice after that as well. Who's the other? Oh, Quinion. Yeah, Quinion. All things considered, you look at how it played out from Sunday night, him saying he'll be fine, to him practicing. I was surprised that he wasn't back out there during the game. And I know he went to the x-ray room, and I figured after he got that x-ray, they give him the indication, oh, you're good to go back. But he stayed out of the game. I know that the full battery of tests, once you get that and you see what's going on, you feel a lot better. It helps you mentally as well. So he's going to be out there. It seems like he's going to be ready to rock. I mean, you got to reach up and you got to use your arm and all that stuff. Right. But I'd much rather have that than a leg thing for my cornerback.
Yes, without a doubt. On their side, what are you hearing? Obviously, Cosby is the big. He will not play, and that's a huge loss, I think, for them. Best interior lineman, probably your best overall offensive lineman.
He was, and he was a big part of what they wanted to get done to keep him there, and he's a good young player, so that was a tough one for them. Deron Payne up front, Jonathan Allen up front. These guys, Cleveland Ferrell, these guys have all been dealing with stuff over the course of the season here, so that's a tough situation to have when you're going up against the Eagles and you've played physical games and I saw a stat yesterday. This is going to be their 4th straight road game. Teams going into the playoffs playing their 4th straight road game. I think it's 0-7, I believe.
Wow.
No team. Let me go find that.
Wow.
Well, while he's looking for that, I got another nug.
Wow. What's your
someone
nug?
Sent me in teams after they play the Lions this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
2-15.
Yeah.
After they play the Lions.
All right. Yeah. So the Commanders are going to be the 8th team since 2000 to enter a playoff game, having it be their 4th straight road game. The previous 7 teams, 0-7.
Holy
and
moly.
if you're so inclined, 1-5-1, you know.
That's a stat. That's a telling trend right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What? You didn't like the 1-5-1 part? I'm not allowed to, that's not what I do, but that was the rest of the sentence.
Yeah.
0-7, but 1-5-1 ATS.
I want the all I care about is the 0-7.
Yeah.
Just win the game.
Win the game. I don't care what it is. Win the game. Hey, how's Zacchaeus? Because he dinged up last week?
Yeah, what was his injury? Hold on.
He left. I know. I think he left the game or Saturday night.
Hip injury. Yes.
Yeah. Will he play?
Yeah. He's been he's going to play. But he's been a big part of what they've been doing. They've been using him on a lot of.
De'Ami Brown's played really well too. So De'Ami Brown.
I love De'Ami Brown. I think he's underrated, that dude. He's a good player. And they got a lot of good receivers. And Terry McLaurin's coming to play. I mean, that dude's. I don't know if we nationally appreciate him enough for what he is and what he means. You very rarely see a wide receiver be a team leader and a captain the way that guy has been. And he's just such a great dude. So, but I know you guys want to take his head off on Sunday. So I'll stop there, everybody.
Yeah, well,
Not you.
I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. Listen, I respect that team. I love Daniels, right? I do. I think the kid is the truth. He's going to be a great player for 10 years. I mean, you just know it. I like the coach. I just think he's a really good. Dan Quinn's a really good coach, and I like everything about him. I like from the hat on backwards to how he goes for it and his how he handles his players. But I just think it's too much for them. I don't know how I can't keep saying it, but I don't know how they come into Philadelphia after doing what they did. And they're gonna win. I just don't see it. I think it's gonna be close.
It's not a great championship game underdog spot. Like I was trying to think back to the times that the Eagles lost Tampa Bay at home. They were coming off a divisional round win at home, a convincing one. Carolina won it on the road against St. Louis the previous week, if I'm not mistaken. But they had won at home. So it's just like how many times can you get going? And the problem is it's that physical game that you have to play against the Eagles. You're not playing trying to think of a team that makes sense, but more of a finesse team. Like you've got to show up and you've got to get the old 11 hats on the ball here against it. The only thing that I would say would worry me a little bit if I'm the Eagles is the fact that they dominated as much as they did last week. I felt like they dominated as much as they did, and yet the Rams were still right there at the end with a chance to win. And sounded like McVay. I don't know if he said it, but it sounded like he was going to go for 2 there at the end there, and would have been So they weren't that far away. I still don't know what the hell the Rams did, and if I'm Washington's offensive line coach this week, the last 2 plays, they basically disregarded Jalen Carter. Like the center had him and then looked away, and the guard shifted that way both times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the sack on 3rd down was completely inexcusable. But credit to Carter for getting there in a hurry. I mean, he was a menace on Sunday.
Wait, they wouldn't have gone for 2. They would have taken the lead.
Yeah.
Were they down 6 or 7?
They were down 6.
Oh, okay. So yeah. All right. That's right. So they were down 6. So they would have, so extra point would have won the game there. Well, they went for 2 before that? Or no, Eagles missed the point.
Yeah.
I'm blanking.
Yeah.
Eyes forward, 2 eyes in the front of your head, none in the back end. That's how I operate.
So, I mean, you're right. I mean, that game, there was a couple times where I was like, after the safety and they were driving, because Carter did it again, man. Carter puts that ball out of Kyron Williams. It was 2nd and 2, and they were driving. They were going to take the lead. There were a couple times in that game where I was petrified. I kept thinking about my cousin Joey and I were talking about, the script, right? Like how the universe comes into play. And here it is, the LA Fires, and they were displaced their first game. And next thing you know, they're hosting an NFC Championship game. I was worried for that.
Yeah, they were. And especially with multiple target, like a team like that late in the game where you've got 2 receivers and a tight end that you can rely upon. I mean, they've got more than those guys, but those are the key players. You're like, this team's going to go down the field. And Without the Kyron fumble, maybe it's a little bit different there. But look, your players make key plays. The old bend but don't break is how you play defense in the NFL these days. So your key players and your coaches need to make the right calls and the right plays at the right time. The Eagles did that. I'm not taking it away from them. I'm just saying the only thing that worries me is like, well, as much as they dominated that game, they had those big plays. Should it have been more of a step on their throat type situation? And you know that Jaden can sling it. He does a great job of.
And they're clutch. I mean, he's a clutch player. The only thing that scares me, I'll throw this at you, and this is right up your alley, is when the Giants went on that run and they won in Tampa, and then they won in Dallas, and then they won in Green Bay. And I was like, there's no way in the world that team. The only thing is they had a better defense. Like, this Washington team doesn't have a great defense.
Yeah, that's if I'm looking at this and saying like, oh, I can see them keeping Saquon Barkley under 100 yards, maybe I feel a little bit differently. I just don't, especially because they're banged up.
Right.
Especially because they're banged up front. I mean, that's what makes it so hard for me to get there. You know, that's the way I kind of look at it. Can I get there? I'm having trouble getting there right now.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you, because we see last week Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen had similar stats, but the narrative nationally has been a bit different. Like I'm just seeing on Get Up this morning, Ryan Clark is talking about Josh Allen after this week and saying he's just about winning the Super Bowl. It's not about how it's look. It's about stats. It's about who's the best team. And he's got James Clark as the running back, James Cook. And it's Jalen Hurts has got Saquon, and he has pretty similar stats, but he's getting shredded kind of nationally. That's the big narrative is like, can he win? Why do you think the difference is so glaring on the national media?
Why do I think the difference is so glaring? I don't know. I mean, I think there's a little bit of an eye test type thing where Josh Allen, I mean, we know the rocket he's got for an arm, his ability to throw it, down the field into tight windows. And he makes mistakes too from time to time. Jalen, to me, is more careful, obviously, with the football, but there's not as much of a wow factor. And I think that's what a lot of people look at, right? The guy that can really, let it rip the way that Josh Allen lets it rip. And you're willing to overlook some mistakes sometimes when that happens, and you've got that to comp. It's like if you're John Elway back in the day, we always thought of him as the great gunslinger because of his ability to throw the football. So that's my guess. I mean, I love the way we've talked about this before, right? I mean, it's amazing to me, and I credit the coaching staff with as successful as they've been with Jalen Hurts not necessarily being that guy, and Jalen, his ability to not make mistakes and put the football where it needs to be and still give his guys a chance to make a play. It's not like I'm sitting here saying, oh, he's a game manager and he's careful with the football. He'll give it a one-on-one shot if he sees it, but also knowing that he doesn't have to because he can do it with his legs and Saquon can do it with the running game. It's two different styles of play, but I do get what you're saying. I do.
Now that you bring up the coaching staff, are you surprised Nick wasn't a finalist for Coach of the Year?
No. And I said this about Andy Reid. Andy Reid has won Coach of the Year one time in his career. And I laugh at the possibility that Kevin O'Connell, who I think is going to win, I'm not laughing at Kevin, but I laugh at the possibility that Kevin O'Connell may accept the Coach of the Year award at NFL Honors while Andy Reid is with his team once again preparing for the Super Bowl. Problem is, when the bar is that high, and the Eagles, despite the way that things came off last year, the bar was high for them coming into the season. So that makes it hard to outperform. That's what the Coach of the Year award is the guy that outperforms things. So it's hard when you're in that regard. You need a guy who made the playoffs for a team that wasn't supposed to make the playoffs. I mean, it's Kevin O'Connell, it's Brian Daboll 2 years ago, it's Kevin Stefanski last year. Mike Vrabel won it a couple of years ago.
How come Dan Quinn's not the favorite?
It's hard, man. It's hard.
I'll be honest, it makes no sense. Sirianni didn't get a sniff the first couple of years either. 2 years ago when he goes to the Super Bowl, it's like he was buried.
I don't know why. See, it's a lot easier when you say like who should be the MVP. You come up with 2-3 names every year. That's right. It. When you go to Coach of the Year, you can come up with 8 to 10. You really can. I don't know why that's harder or why that comes out. I just think it's harder to quantify. because a lot of stuff is a lot of times guys leaning on their assistant coaches. A lot of it is based on the narrative that we've got coming into the season on the team. I think that's the biggest part of it, and that's the way that you see it play out. I mean, for a minute there, it looked like Mike Tomlin was going to be the guy because Tomlin makes the move, which I think would have been fair if that team had continued to ascend.
Right.
I'm talking about October, November. He makes the move to Russell Wilson, and we go, man, what a gutsy call. Now, the way that it finished took him completely out of contention, but I think that would have been a good choice for Coach of the Year because he went against the current inside his own building to go to Russell Wilson, and it looked like it was going to be a genius move. Kevin O'Connell with him, Sam Darnold, a guy who hasn't performed, like to go 14-3 with that guy.
Why do they wait? I just don't even understand. Like the playoffs should matter in these things. Like honestly, like you look at like Dan Quinn being in the NFC title game. I mean, not that I'm holding water for him, but I mean, I think it's just obvious.
I agree.
I mean,
it would change things. It would change things. I think with the players, you need to do just regular season because it's just such an uneven playing field for a guy who didn't play 4 extra games, whatever it winds up being. So I think you have to do it that way for the players.
Yeah.
Maybe they could wait for the coaches and just wait till at least before the Super Bowl at that point, because at that point the narratives are set. But yeah, I think maybe at that point, maybe you get to now, if you voted after this week, Kevin O'Connell probably wouldn't win it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Hey, listen, I just don't think it's going to come down to. I think Jalen's going to have to make a couple plays with his arm, and it's got to come down to AJ. The interesting thing about the Birds is that they have not been down in the second half, right? Like they're such a front-running horse that they have not been down like a score or two. There's never been like a real threat, like a sweat. You go, oh my God, I got to come back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Say it again. We got the coaching.
No, I'm just talking about how they win. Like they just win in the first half. They're rarely down in the second half. They're rarely down, 2 scores. It's funny. They're such a front runner in that sense.
Who are you talking about?
What's that?
Who are you talking about?
The Eagles.
Yeah. Well, they as much as early in the season, the offense wasn't performing in the first quarter. The defense, I mean, they were in games. It wasn't like they were down 10-0, 14-0. No, they've done a good job of that, and they did a great job of in-game adjustments. They've done a better job as the season's gone along, game planning to come out strong, to start the game stronger, to not have to worry about not performing in the first quarter of these games. So, the coaching staff has done a really nice job. It's a really good coaching staff. It's a veteran coaching staff. I think Kellen has done a terrific job with what existed previously with Jalen, with understanding what's important, what to him or what he's comfortable with. And Kevin Patullo, also the assistant head coach, being the guy that's been the glue there and the bridge between what they were doing before, what they're doing now. I had questions about Kellen Moore coming in. I don't think he did particularly well as the coordinator with the Chargers, especially late in games. He's done a terrific job. I mean, they've been a closing offense. They've been a great 4-minute type offense.
Because of Detroit and Washington last week. Like when Washington jumped out to the lead, Detroit panicked. Like they got away from Gibbs. They, you run that goofy gadget play with Jamison Williams, which was ridiculous on first down when you're driving, right? Like they reeked the panic. Like they felt like they were panicked. And the Eagles, you never see any of that.
No, you don't see that. And Saquon, he talked about it last week. He said he was calling for that play, which I think Nick pushed a little bit back on there. But Saquon is like a coach on the field in what he's seeing and telling them this will work. We need a little bit more of this. His vision, not only of the holes and where he needs to go, but his vision of everything that's happening all at once is pretty remarkable.
So is it, speaking of shifting to the coaches, Brian Schottenheimer lock in Dallas now?
I was told to watch for Dallas today. So if Dallas is going to make a move today, it's going to be Schottenheimer. It's not going to be Kellen Moore. I know Kellen seems to have told some folks there that doesn't think it's going to wind up being him, which is fine. You continue and you're going to be a hot head coaching candidate moving forward. The Schottenheimer. Now I know Dallas wants Jason Witten. Jerry Jones wants Jason Witten as a part of the coaching staff if possible. So, Mike McCarthy pushed back on the idea of, well, you're only going to get a 2-year deal. he thought he earned more than that, and I agree with him. Schottenheimer was not being sought by anybody else, so he can sort of be your bridge head coach. If he gets a chance to be a head coach, yeah, sure, that's great. Why not? Why wouldn't he take it? I just don't know why you fire Mike McCarthy to just hire Brian Schottenheimer. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what they're doing down there, but we're going to find out over the next day here.
And Liam Cohen is now going to Jacksonville.
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. The Bucs are not happy. Bucs are fine that he left. They're just not happy with how it played out the last couple of days.
Yeah, because you said he wasn't leaving, and he's going to leave.
But that's not the issue. That's not the issue. Like you can do that because when he agreed to come back, Trent Baalke was still the general manager in Jacksonville, which everybody was telling Shad Khan that's going to be a problem for candidates. I don't know why he didn't listen.
Right.
And then said, yeah, I'll come back. Okay, cool. I got a raise out of it.
Yeah.
Verbal agreement. Didn't sign the deal. Was supposed to sign the deal yesterday. And then they couldn't find him all day. And he said he was at the hospital with his kid, which was accurate. He was at the hospital with his kid, but never returned a call or a text message. Like, that's fine. Do not misconstrue this into me saying, why was he with his kid at the hospital? No, of course. Kid at the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. But in the meantime, I know he was talking to the Jaguars and his representatives because by the end of the day, he was in Jacksonville. So he didn't have time to call them back, but he had time to get to Jacksonville. So that's what they're upset about in Tampa Bay, but they'll move on. They'll figure it out.
So that just leaves the Raiders and Saints. What do you hear for those two?
Raiders and Saints. McCarthy's going to interview with the Saints after Joe Brady and who's the other one? Kellen, I think, right?
Yeah.
And the Raiders look like it's going to be Pete Carroll, which we had kind of thought about. I thought Spags had a shot there.
I thought he had a shot there.
You're gonna, if it winds up being Pete Carroll, you'll hear that Spags was maybe like the runner up or the number 3 there. But looks like it's going to be Pete Carroll there in Vegas.
Wow. All right, Mikey, give me a score for the game.
A score for the game. I'll go Eagles 27, Commanders. I can't go 21. That's on the number. 27-20.
27-20. Pat McClune said it too. 27-20. Mikey G, you coming down?
No, I will not be down. I got to work from home. Then I'm flying out to Mobile for the Senior Bowl on Monday.
Okay. All right. Well, brother, great stuff as always, man. Let's go. Bring it home.
Enjoy, everybody.
Thanks, man. There he is, South Philadelphia's own Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. Coming up, we'll take a kind of deeper look into Jalen's knee with our doctors from Rothman, Dr. Salvo.
Yeah.
My man, Dr. Salvo.
This guy AT in the chat, he lives down in the DC area, says the radio down there is all about taking shots at Hurts and getting him out of this game.
That's disgusting.
Creeps.
By the way, By the way, I got some numbers from the brain. So if you guys want to hear some of those bets that he's going to be throwing down for the weekend, I can throw those numbers out.
Yeah, well, let's do that because we got to take care of some business, and we'll might as well do it with a little Parks Casino. So let's talk about when we talk about the brain and the brain throwing down. He only throws down at Parks Casino. All right, everybody's casino of choice, my casino of choice, the Braves, the whole thing. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, Schefter just reported Pete Carroll and the Raiders have agreed to a 3-year deal.
Wow.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
I like Pete Carroll.
I do too, but I wanted Spags to get the game.
No, I totally get where you're coming from.
All right, let's talk about Parks. You can download the app right now. Birds 6, 47.5. The Chiefs 2, 48 are the numbers. You got all kinds of props. What does the brain say?
Yeah, he's got a laundry list, so get your pens and pencils out and write them down, all right? He's got the Chiefs at -1.5. He's got Devontae Smith over 46.5 receiving yards. He's got Dynami Brown under 3.5 catches.
Diami.
He's got Brian Robinson over 35.5 rushing.
Okay.
He's got Josh Allen under 48.5 rushing.
Like it.
He's got Keon Coleman over 18.5 receptions.
Yards.
Receiving.
Yeah.
He's got Travis Kelce under 6.5 catches. He's got Travis Kelce under 69.5 receiving yards.
All right. These are good props.
And he's got Hollywood Brown over 35.5 receiving yards.
There you go.
All right.
Brain.
All right.
I like the brain props. I would go over AJ's yards too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think AJ and Devontae both get over, which would lead that to believe in over for Jalen's passing yards.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down with that.
I think that's the way to go. All right, that's Parks Casino, Street Road Bed Sale, and the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app. Like we told you, all the props, all of the fun stuff is right there. And again, they have everything you want at Parks Casino. I mean, you want to talk about it, all the fun stuff. And by the way, live dealer, blackjack, roulette, I mean, you name it. They got it, the hot online slots.
Rocky
slots, the Squid Games, everything you want. And by the way, betparks.com has details because here's the deal. If you're a new customer, you get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down the first 24 hours. Just remember when you use the app, play for fun. You got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, Michigan, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. We are also brought to you by, coming up, our friends at Rothman Orthopedics. I tell you about Rothman all the time. We love them. Joints aching, hands cramping, back out of whack. Well, Rothman's got you. And Rothman Orthopedics, practicing specialized care has been their passion for over 50 years. Their mission, high quality, compassionate, and affordable care rooted in research. Research leads to new treatments, better outcomes. Each Rothman doctor laser focused on their specialty. Hip, knee, spine, you name it. They have a knee for each body part right in your backyard, all right? They keep us, the Delaware Valley, in motion. So you can play driveway hoops. You can run patterns in between the cars and root for our teams like no other fans in the country. They're Rothman Orthopedics. They specialize in you, all right? Here you go. Visit RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY to learn more and to make an appointment today. All right, joining us now from Rothman. We love him. He's a great Eagle man. He's a great Philadelphia sportsman. All right, Dr. Salvo. Yo, Doc. How you feeling, buddy?
How you doing?
You ready for Sunday?
We're ready for Sunday. Yeah, I got to watch it from my couch.
Now, tell me about your family, because I know you do. You got your father, who I love. You got everybody around. What's it going to be like in the Salvo household Sunday?
It's going to be quiet. Dad's going to be, on his couch, and my kids are both in college, so going to be probably relatively low key. And my wife will be looking at me, yelling like a madman. So I think she's going to hang around. I'm not sure.
All right, because not only are you a brilliant doctor, but you bleed green. All right, so God bless you.
Yep. So
let's talk.
Yeah, thanks for having me on today.
Oh man, we love you. And here's the deal: let's talk about the knee and this injury. And let's do our disclaimer: you are not treating Jalen, but you know everything about the knee from what you read and the injury. Tell us about it, and tell us about how limited he would be.
Right, and I was looking, and again, like you said, I haven't seen him or looked at him or seen any studies, but from the way he did that, he went into like hyperflexion when he was getting tackled, and then immediately came up with some pain, and when we all saw it, and he went into the medical tent, and that's where you're going to get examined. Their orthopedic doctors are top notch, all their medical staff is top notch. So they made a determination. I believe they put him in a brace, and he was able to get back in, which is good. That's a good indicator. But still with that, he injured his knee. So it sounds like it was, I was actually doing a little look this morning. I didn't see anything official about what structure, okay?
Right.
We know it wasn't his ACL, because then you're not back in for that. Most likely it was his medial collateral ligament, or it possibly could have been the meniscus with that kind of injury. But either way, the brace would help stabilize him. That's what leads me to think probably an MCL. So we'll just chat about the ligaments in the knee and what that means for him. So I don't know if this is going to show up here. Let me see if I can get this.
Oh, look at this!
All right, so this is the knee mop.
These props.
Wait, I'm
there. You go, right there. Yeah,
I'm glitching a little bit. All right. So this is the kneecap. This is the shin bone.
Yeah.
And this is the medial collateral ligament.
Yeah.
Is right here.
Okay.
That's what this is. And that keeps the knee from going like this, back and forth like that. So that's probably the injury he's dealing with. And there's all kinds of different grades of these injuries. There's, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Grade 3 injuries, and those are really judged off the MRI results. Grade 3 are complete tears. Doubtful it's that. And the key with the medial collateral ligament is when the injuries are in the mid-substance or up off the thigh bone, they have great healing potential. When it's down off the shin bone, those are bad news. So again, unlikely that. It's probably dealing with a grade 1 to grade 2 is what I would suspect.
Uh-huh.
In which case he got treatments all week. They make sure they get all the tissues to calm down. He's probably going to be in a brace just to support that MCL. But as long as he has enough clinical stability, he should be able to get out there and perform. If that's what we're dealing with. And I think that's the most likely event with him.
How does it affect running? So my guess, I gather that you can run straight forward, but it's really the side-to-side stuff that creates the wobble and the instability that would give you trouble.
It's the pivots, right? Yeah. But and also with throwing. Now, I believe it's his left knee. Yeah. So that's better for him. It's not his push off. He still needs to land on that.
Yeah.
But I think that's a little better being the left knee as far as throwing. As far as running, that brace is going to give him a lot of support. So he'll probably be comfortable running. Again, that goes by clinically how he progresses through the entire week. And, how he's doing when the athletic trainers are looking at him. They get him on the treadmill, get him on the field and doing some cuts with the brace on, just see how he feels. As long as he's feeling okay, it may bite at him during the game because it just happened a week ago. That's not uncommon, but I don't think it's going to stop him from playing and performing.
Does it limit what he can do in the run game? Like, because, it depends on that 40-yard run he had last week. Can he do that?
Yeah, that was amazing. I'm hoping yes. You don't know if that thing's going to bite at you at some point. But if it doesn't bite at him, it's all a matter of how he feels.
Right.
And again, as long as he's clinically stable, that brace will support him. And that should help him a lot with the pain and even pivoting on that side. That's the hope, is that he's going to be able to perform.
Is there anything to do pregame? Like, how do you treat that pregame with the pain? Like, is there medication? Do you shoot? Is there?
There are anti-inflammatory medicines and Tylenol. When we were with the Eagles, that was a common thing. They would have some anti-inflammatory medicines and one Tylenol if they needed it before the game, and that can help. It's not the days, like 10, 15 years ago when people were getting Toradol injections.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Before games, that kind of went away, and we found that this other combination of medicines works just as well as the Toradol injections, and I think it's a little less harsh on the kidneys. Okay. So that would be an option, and that's going to be his option. He may not want to take anything.
Yeah, that's interesting. You look at it and you go, all right, because he's such a big part of it. If as long as he can plant and throw, and like you said, I know it's his landing leg, but the fact that you can plant, I think should really help him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and that's a sign that it's if it is the MCL, it's probably a low grade injury. It's only 1 week from when he did it, so I wouldn't be surprised if it bit at him.
Right.
At some point during the game. I mean, it's not going to be, 8 degrees like it's been the last few days. It's going to be, I think, a high of 40, which that helps a little bit. But still, I mean, he's got some big, fast guys trying to bring him down.
Yep.
So you never know when it might bite at him, but they're going to be safety first and health first with him.
Sure.
Hey Doc, with the brace on, can he make it worse?
Only if he does the same kind of the same way he hurt it. So if he gets in that hyperflexion or if he gets hit from the outside part of the knee, that's what stresses the MCL. So, can he get hurt in an NFC championship game with people all going for it? Yeah. I mean, anybody out there can get hurt. But the brace really decreases the risk of anything more than like it biting at him, but not really changing his healing potential or anything like that.
Doc, great stuff, man. Thank you for your wisdom and your insight. Oh, like we say, buddy, go Birds.
Go Birds.
Enjoy
We're going to pull it out.
Best of
Have
Dad
fun in New Orleans.
and the Salvo family. We love you, buddy. Thanks, pal.
Yep. Have
Dr.
fun.
Salvo, Rothman Institute. We're Rothman Orthopedics. We love our Rothman Orthopedic doctors. Now joining us, friend of the show.
It's like family.
Hometown hero. He is definitely family. And we know he's a little under the weather. So, but this will pick him up a little bit.
Hope so.
All right?
Yeah.
We'll send him some chicken soup. He's our buddy, the great Kevin Negandhi, ABC, ESPN. Kev, what do you say, buddy?
Man, how we doing, VG? How we doing? We're good, man.
He got hair and makeup under the weather. He looks fantastic.
You're the only guy with the flu who looks good.
Yeah, I know
who's
he's
got
gonna be
color. How do you have color with the flu? God bless you.
Hey, it's all about the lighting. We keep fooling them. If you get good lighting, man, you can fool anybody.
How you feeling, buddy? I mean, besides the flu, how you feel about Sunday?
I felt it all week. Nervous energy, right? Like just nervous energy. I mean, the wild card is their quarterback. He's a 35-year-old man with 22-year-old legs. Nothing phases him. And when you're playing the way you're playing, like Jaden Daniels does, like you start to believe that, hey, it's magic, man. Nothing can stop us, like no matter what. And listen, the Commanders done a great job of building that roster with veterans like Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, guys who know how to win, who know how to step up in big moments, are not fazed by the atmosphere, right? That plays a huge role while everybody, blindly follows the rookie quarterback. I got to tell you, the Commanders' confidence, borderline arrogance, when I talk about their fan base, is wild. Like everybody I've talked to is just saying, we're going to New Orleans. And I'm like, okay, all right. So they've been pretty aggressive with their approach on how they feel. They feel like this is a team of destiny. And I feel good. I think this comes down to three things. It comes down to Jalen's knee. You guys just talked to the doc about that, and actually it made me feel a little bit better. It comes down to keeping Jaden Daniels in 3rd and 5 to 3rd and 8 in the pocket, because that's where he destroys you. He extends drives, right? And then he'll pick up those first downs, and it's just a killer. It's absolute.
I've been talking about it all week from the standpoint of they win first down, right? So you have to win first down on defense, because when they get 5 or 6 yards, it's just, and then they use 4th down. And like you said, he takes that easy route. He'll sprint out. He'll hit Ertz. They have chain movers.
Yes. And again, the legs, man. Now, the one thing that's different with Fangio and what we saw from the Lions didn't change their approach while they were getting burned. They kept on blitzing. Fangio blitzes less than 20%.
Yeah.
So just staying home. Can your edge guys and Nolan Smith and Josh Sweat stay home and be patient? Because that's always the storyline with a mobile quarterback, right? Who loves to go to the outside and then see the field. And then the last thing, this is not a conference championship. This is a divisional game. And we have seen the history between the Eagles and the Commanders. And it's going to come down to a kick. And Jake Elliott better be ready. And that means extra points too. He better be ready. Because I don't know if it's a focus thing. If it's, hey, I'm not prepared, I'm not ready. I think I heard something from the special teams coordinator saying these big runs catches the team by surprise. There's no excuse. No. You got to make the so to me, more than anything else, Jake Elliott's got to have a great day, because if this is going to come down to a kick, I know Washington's kicker is not that great. The Eagles cannot afford to slip up because that could have cost us badly. It would have been a tragic way to lose if the Rams scored that touchdown in the final 2 minutes.
I know. Oh, man. Yeah, it's spot on. You know what's so interesting? How about Joe Witt Jr. talking to, they're going to hit Jalen, which is a threat. Like, he issued a thing. First of all, if he's going to run, what do you think? But he says it. And it kind of illustrates this whole weird Commanders thing that's going on.
And talk radio down there now. They're all talking about taking shots at Jalen and his knee and getting him out of the game. That's we had someone, AT, in the chat room here saying he's been listening to DC Sports Radio, and they're all talking about getting Hurts out of the game.
I just let them all talk. The one thing that stood out to me, guys, Jalen got that extra hit, man. That concussion. Washington knew we got to take them out. They're going to take that same approach. So the Eagles, here's the difference on how I feel from a couple years ago. Our defense can hit, and we are going to bring it. So if they're going to bring it, then it's going to be a snot fest back in the day of the NFC East, and I'm all for it as long as the refs allow them to play that way on both sides. Because it was ridiculous for C.J. Gardner-Johnson to get thrown out of that game.
Yes.
It was ridiculous, especially when they initiated the physical contact. Whatever he said, it's ridiculous that C.J. Gardner-Johnson got thrown out. So if you're going to do it one way, do it both ways. More than anything else, how you're going to call this game. And I'm sorry, but Jalen's taken a ton of hits. We saw that with all the quarterbacks aside from 15 over the weekend, right? All the guys that were moving around got extra hits. They better be making sure they're policing this so it doesn't get out of hand. Because if you
don't just police Mahomes, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing: if you don't establish that early in the game, it will continue as the game continues, right? So you've got to kind of in that first quarter establish that you guys, the referees, are in control of this game and will not let it get out of hand. Because if it's not, then the Commanders are going to continue to unload. They're going to continue to go after the knee. That's just how it is. That's football.
It is football. No, I feel you on that. Listen, you watched Jaden Daniels from Arizona State to LSU, and unbelievable. We saw him in the first game, and he wasn't himself. His knee was bothering him. He didn't play particularly well. Watching him during this run, I just don't know what his I'm trying to figure out how to attack him.
That's the thing, man. He can see the field so well. He understands the concepts. And to me, it's a chess match with Fangio. Is he going to give him one look and then change the look? Zach Bond's going to play a critical role. I mean, this is one of those games where we really miss the Kobe Dean because Zach Bond's got to play everywhere because you got to still spy on the guy, right? You got to be aware of what's going to happen because he's going to spread the field out. That's, we did a breakdown film with Orlovsky the other day, and he's like, he just does these concepts where you got two guys all the way to that end, two guys all the way to that end, and then you open up the entire field with the back going right in the middle in that soft coverage about 15 yards down, and then boom, you had the big play. That's what's going to be killer, man. How much they spread us out and how disciplined are the Eagles defense. It's crazy. I feel so confident with this Eagles defense that I'm not saying they're going to pitch a shutout or anything like that. I just feel confident with this Eagles defense. I'm more concerned about how do we attack offensively and can Jalen make 3 to 5 throws? And to be honest with you, I posted something on social media 2 weeks ago. I was more concerned after the Packers game. I wasn't as concerned after this game for a handful of reasons with Jalen. One, his knee was bulky. He couldn't move around. He took some sacks that he shouldn't have, right? But no turnovers, man. No turnovers. A.J. Brown catches that touchdown inside the one. It's a completely different narrative. You take some of those penalties off the board. It's a completely different narrative. So, what Jalen did in the snow was don't make the mistake that's going to cost the entire team.
Yeah.
And I, honestly, look at all the guys that have the turnovers, right? The Lions panicked. And when Jared Goff had to win that game, he had no idea what to do. They were running the ball really well, Gibbs. The issue is when the Lions were down by 10 there was an moment. Like, what are we going to do? Let's open up the playbook and let's force things. If the Eagles are down 10-0 or by 10 points, the test will be, Kellen Moore, are you going to stay true to what we're trying to do consistently? And that's move the line and be patient. That's my concern here heading into the game.
Did I just bring that up not a half hour ago?
Did you really?
I swear to God. I brought up the Lions panicking. It's uncanny. Now, down to Gibbs got 13 carries. He had 100 and whatever yards. Like, it was criminal that they got away from him. And and then you run that stupid gadget play with Jamison Williams. You're at midfield. I just don't understand. What are you doing? And the Eagles don't panic like that.
They don't. And then defensively, they just kept on blitzing. The Lions kept on blitzing. And that's working in the Jaden Daniels' favor. Especially when we're beat up, right? You're beat up with all the injuries. You got the second and third string guys back there. Jaden Daniels is like, I'm going to feast here on whatever I see. That's what got me. But understand this, Eagles fans. Understand. When Saquon scored that touchdown and the whole place lost its mind, I'm guilty of it as well. We thought the game was over. The Commanders ain't going to quit until there's no time on the clock. So ever settle down and feel comfortable. You just do not. I recommend that. Do not feel comfortable this entire game.
Wow. These Commanders, double-digit win, Kev. I don't believe it. This hype, it's run out. Fangio puts the clamps down. We've been saying steamroll all morning. Well, Ian hasn't, but some of us here have been saying steamroll all morning. So they're gonna give up. They'll be down 17 in the fourth. They're gonna give up.
Man, VG, from your lips to God's ears. We'll see.
I mean, the only reason it was even close last game is because of the ejection and Kenny Pickett was the quarterback.
Totally get that. But this is a different team. This is a different environment.
I don't like this. I don't like this VG saying like this.
I don't like it. I don't like it either.
Confidence.
Completely different environment. So here's the thing, Ed, how do you feel about the game? Because VG's on one end. How do you feel? Are you on the same wavelength with me?
Yes. I think like 24-20, lower scoring game. I think both teams are going to play well defensively. Listen, I come back to the point of the Eagles are the better team. They're at home. The Washington's playing its fourth straight road game. I mean, at some point that has to matter. Like, are they the only thing I fear is that are they the Giants that beat Tampa and Dallas and Green Bay in the Blizzard and the Patriots in the Super Bowl? I mean, there's a little similar that they got hot, but ultimately, One thing that Giants team had, totally get you with the mentality. One thing that Giants team had, they had a fantastic defense. Commanders don't. This is going to be play calling discipline because Saquon they're going to stack the box. They're going to try and do everything they can with Saquon, where you're going to see 2-yard gains, 3-yard gains, and I think there's going to be frustration with the Eagles fan base because it's like they're getting stopped. When's Jalen going to make a throw? And then Saquon's going to bust open for a 30-yard run. Like that, you got to just wear them down. You got to wear them down. The thing is, though, you cannot let that Washington team feel like they've got momentum heading into the fourth quarter. You just can't. So, I'm so with you. And the only reason why you said example of the Giants is that while they don't have the defense, they have Daniels, right? They have one, Eli.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get
the Giants offense. But I fear one piece of them and I fear Daniels.
Completely with you.
Yeah.
Completely.
My brother, listen, enjoy. You'll be home Sunday to watch it with the family?
I will. We're not making the trip. The kids wanted to go and I was like, let's just enjoy it here. They got basketball games and all that stuff. And I said, let's just enjoy it. We don't need to run around. And actually, I'm glad because I'm battling something I would have been miserable. So,
you will enjoy it. Get healthy for Sunday. Enjoy it. All right. And then will you be going to New Orleans? I'll
be in New Orleans.
Brother, yes.
I'll see you guys.
I love it, man. Feel better, buddy. We love you.
All right, brother. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds. How about that? The great Kevin Negandhi.
Chat's alive. Yo, we have people from Saudi Arabia today, Miami. True Serum is harassing a Commanders fan. It's 2:42 a.m. in Sydney, Australia. True Serum's in the chat with us.
I love it, man. I love this stuff, man. It's global. Speaking of which, it's global. Do we have our friends from London?
We do.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I am. I'm just setting this up, my brother. Been doing it a minute. By the way, thank you for watching. If you're watching on Xfinity platform or Roku or Samsung, we always thank you. But as always, we're on YouTube, and we will remain on YouTube for as long as we decide to go today.
I'm drinking a beer. I'm good.
He's got his yards.
Yep, settled in.
Love it. So speaking of drinking beers and being in bars, there is a great bar in London. All right. Actually, there's more than one now. And it is called Passyunk Avenue. All right. So let us go live right now
These maniacs.
to London because we're global. And here, look at the boys. Look at the boys. Give me full screen of the great Eagle fans at Passyunk Avenue in London.
PBR.
My God, it's the greatest. Give me an Eagle chat. Give us an Eagle chat. Oh my God, they're playing this song. We can't hear it.
It's the mic. It's the mic.
Is it too loud?
It's too loud on
Dude, the jacket is great with the beer. JLES.
All right, we love it. Go Birds! That's fantastic. Mwah! Mwah! This is the greatest. Passyunk Avenue in London. Oh, that's unbelievable. How great is that? We got to figure out a way to get the audio.
The fans are too loud for these microphones.
The phone mic can't handle the loud.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
minimizing.
That's the problem.
It.
Yeah,
They're
so
so
we can't hear
loud.
it too well.
That is, but that's
that
awesome.
was awesome. Yeah.
That is absolutely
Yeah, the
fabulous.
visuals were great.
Are you kidding me? We're in London doing that. That was unbelievable. Great Eagle fans
We gotta go
all
to their
across
party.
the globe. Oh my God. How you feeling, dude?
I feel great.
You do feel great,
man.
You're
I
feeling a
woke up
blowout.
feeling good. Weather broke a little bit. It's going to warm up.
Oh,
Weather
my
broke. It's like
God.
31.
No, the
Feels
weather's
like
going to be
50.
beautiful, man. It is. It's going to be incredible. 42
We got
degrees.
people from all over the world joining us in the chat. It's
Oh,
it's
my
fantastic. We got-
Oh, there he is. I know that guy calling up. I wonder what he's got in store for us. An NFC title game.
I've seen a
Sunday.
teaser. I've seen a teaser.
Really?
It's going to be
Let's
amazing.
go from the cheap seats. Black. Gritty. Give him a full screen.
Good morning, everybody.
What's up, Black
Good
Gritty?
morning, Black Gritty.
It's a great day. Andrew, give me my 2-shot with VG on there too. Go ahead, throw VG up on the screen.
All right.
I'm trying to see the whole team out here today. I'm trying to see the whole team. The chat's alive. I mean, they blew the speakers out across the pond. Today is a great day.
I love this bathed in that green light.
Oh, yeah.
The green and black light.
Looks
It's
nice.
a great move.
Yeah. It's like a
I'm
good
trying
vape
to
lounge.
live the life that the cuz has provided for me. I've been out here, you know what I mean, getting all my free sandwiches from Primo's. I appreciate you, cuz. Oh, wait, hold on like 1 second. I got a technical difficulty. Give me 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves for like 2 seconds.
2 seconds he's got. He's got a Uh-oh, he's got something in store. I know he's got something in store. When he goes black like that,
I love it.
There's something coming up strong.
It's like a wrestling production.
Yes. It's the curtain. Yeah. It's the virtual curtain. Oh, my. There's something behind the curtain. On a Sunday, it's a football Friday, an NFC title. Oh, there he is. Black Gritty.
I've been telling you guys for a while that I know exactly what's going on and I know exactly what's going down. But nobody wants to believe in Gritty Damas. But I'm telling you, call me now. Call me now. You want to know about the NFC Championship? Let me tell you what's going to happen on Sunday. Oh, they want to raise hell, cuz. They want to raise hell. They need to raise bail because they're coming to Guantanamo Bay and everything is getting shut down. Oh, Josh Allen, are you sick? Oh, is it the bird flu, brother? No, it's the Eagles going to make you sick. It's the Eagles. You go home with Magic Johnson. I hope he rubs your feetsies because you're getting the L. Oh, no. What? Cook up a parlay, you say. Oh, call me now for my free parlay. 150 yards from Saquon. Push touchdown, Jalen Hurts. Anytime you like it. 2 sacks from Jaden Carter. 3 turnovers from Jaden Daniels. 3 turnovers for the Washington Commanders. Oh, I see the Bears winning. I see them flying high, cuz. I see the Green Bears and over Philadelphia on the road to victory. On the road to victory. The Commanders think they're coming into here to win.
Dude, that's the best.
These fucking locks done told me, cuz. Go back!
Dude, Black Gritty.
Oh, man.
Fabulous.
The Miss Cleo Black Gritty is the best.
Well, listen, it's a preview of New Orleans. And when we go to
the
Marie,
soothsayers down there.
Marie Laveau's House of Voodoo will turn green next week.
Oh, man, that was great. His feetsies.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
He brings it.
Fantastic. All right, time for the predictions. Time for what?
We got a back in the day. I got a good back in the day for you.
This was a viewer request.
This is one I think is going to hype us up.
Someone asked for this.
Oh, wait a second.
For you.
Oh, this is awesome. My buddy Vinny says he just saw Nick Foles is an honorary captain for Sunday.
Love
Nick
it.
Foles.
Yeah, BG.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's great.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you got?
This was by request from Cashbert.
All right.
We're going back, 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 back. We're going back, 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 back. We're going back, 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 back. Back in the day with Rite Aid. Yeah!
All right, Rite Aid back in the day
This
moment.
is just for you to get you fired up.
We're going back in the day, and we're not going too far back. We're going to when the Eagles played the Ravens.
Cool.
3rd and 11. Nothing to work with there as he's pile driven into the ground by the rookie Cooper DeJean. The Eagle bench is going ballistic over that play by the rookie.
Give me again.
Williams, 93. 3rd and 11. Nothing to work with there as he's pile driven into the ground by the rookie Cooper DeJean. The Eagle bench is going ballistic over that play by the rookie.
Again.
Williams, 93. 3rd and 11. Nothing to work with there as he's pile driven into the ground by the rookie Cooper DeJean. The Eagle bench is
Joe Witt Jr.
I don't want to hear about Washington. Get the hell out of here. Washington. Are you kidding me?
Beat it.
Beat it is right. Joe Witt out. All right? Give me a break. Predictions. Let's go. Frazier!
All right.
What do you got?
28-17, Birds.
Joey Barone! What do you got?
Say 34-28 Birds.
34-28?
Birds.
Birds!
34-20, 2 touchdowns.
34-20?
Birds.
Birds! 24-20? Birds!
Yeah!
Here it is! Let's go!
Go, Birds!
Let's go to the Super Bowl! New Orleans! Here we come! Let's go! We'll see you Monday to celebrate! Bourbon Street!
Bourbon Street.
We'll see you on Monday. Maybe Sunday night on Broad Street before Bourbon Street.
I'll be there.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
We all silly like the mayor.